What's up YouTube, I'm Mike, and today I'm gonna give you guys a quick update on what is going on with our RV/travel plans. I mentioned this in a previous video. My wife and I no longer have the RV that we previously had. We were able to work out a resolution that we are very, very happy with, and that is legally all that I can say about that. I'm not allowed to say anything, I guess, about that particular experience. So for the purposes of this video, I will be referring to our old RV. That's as far as I can go. So after we got rid of the other RV that we had, we went and looked at basically every make and model that you can possibly purchase. We looked at everything from even smaller travel trailers than we already had, fifth wheels, Class C's, Super C's, Class A's. Basically what we had hoped was that the reason we had so many problems with our previous product is because it was just a piece of shit. That's what we had kind of hoped. And I'm still convinced that that is true. But what we found, unfortunately, when we started looking at other products, is that the majority of these products, and this is true from the bottom prices all the way up to $500,000 you can spend easily on a large Class A motorhome, and they all effectively, when you're walking through them, they're made of the same type of components. There's the light switches, the fixtures, there's only so many brands of appliances, anything from your refrigerators to your air conditioners. All of this stuff is relatively comparable. And so given the fact that we had a lot of problems with components in our previous RV, we were nervous to see the same components in other products. Then when you go online and you start looking at reviews, you find that every major make and model has just a litany of bad reviews. And I know that that can be true of any product, but the thing that scared us the most was the thing that caused us the most problems. We understood that these RVs, like everyone annoyingly says, it's like a house in a rolling hurricane or something, and they bounce all down the road, and you just have to expect that things are gonna go wrong. And honestly, I just think that's bullshit. I don't know why that's true. Like, I have a 20-foot Skeeter bass boat, and it's got lights, it's got batteries, it's got plumbing, it's got all kinds of things in it. It will do 72 miles an hour wide open throttle on the water, and I have ridden this thing so hard that I have jumped it completely out of the water on more than one occasion, pulled the prop, had it slam down on the side of a wave. I fished it in 20-mile-an-hour winds when you're just getting beat to shit. I've speared waves in it, had them come rolling across the front deck. I mean, you name it, this boat has been through it all. It gets driven down the same roads as an RV, it bounces around, and yet I have not had one single mechanical failure, not one problem with the motor, not one problem with any of the fixtures or anything in it. It's just been a tank. And so I don't know why it is that they can't build RVs any better than they're building. What we're finding out is that this is probably not something necessarily about RVs in general, as much as it is about RVs that are being built today. When you look at the used RV market, you find that people don't want to buy these COVID fucking specials, That seems to be when everything went to shit. Like, COVID hit, everybody got trapped inside, people got tired of sitting in the house, the RV market experienced this really large boom, and like so many other businesses that are just bloodthirsty and conniving and useless, they just jumped on the opportunity to make as much money as they could. They threw caution to the wind. They didn't give two shits about their clientele, their customers, nothing. They spit products out with crews that were not well trained, and it was basically just one big money grab. And so they grabbed all the money they could, and then now all of these products are out there on the market and they're falling apart. And so I think that this is going to continue to happen. And so when they talk about this, the thing that everybody kept saying about the rolling thunder or whatever is that all RVs go through a shakedown period, which is all fine and great if you are the kind of RVer who buys an RV, parks it on your land or parks it in your property, takes it out, few times a year, whatever. It's not like something that you're going to be spending a long term in. We intended to go full time, which is just, after our experience with that RV, it's just basically fucking laughable to think about how it would even be remotely possible to go full time in an RV of the quality that we had, because literally every time we towed it down a stretch of road, something fell apart. So, and I just was unsure that this was going to be any different in any other RV. Now, maybe we got a lemon. Maybe we could have bought something from another manufacturer and it would have had far fewer problems. But when it does have problems, if the problems are bigger than you can fix yourself or are willing to fix yourself on what's effectively a brand new piece of equipment that you just bought and shouldn't have to fucking turn a wrench on, period, then you have to take it back to the dealer. And when you take it back to the dealer, it sits there for a month or 2 months or 3 months. So if we go buy another RV right now for the purposes of traveling this spring and summer, and we get it, 200 miles down the road and it has a bunch of problems, part of this break-in bullshit, then there we are, back to the dealership, waiting for another. I mean, our summer's gonna be over before we ever get a chance to use it. So what we are currently what I'm currently looking at is taking all of the idiots in the RV business out of the equation, because I don't think they give two shits about their customers. I think that they're absolute fucking spineless lowlifes. And so I'm done dealing with them. So what we're looking at now is really very close to where we started, which is buying a larger cargo trailer that I can convert myself, that I can put my own fixtures and plumbing and lighting and generators and do everything that I want to do, how I want to do it, so that I'll know how it was built. I'll know, what went into it. I'll be able to choose all of the components and everything. And we're not really even planning on trying to live in a cargo trailer. Like, I feel like the tent camping that we set out to do in the beginning was what we had the most fun doing. Like, when we bought the RV, we were tethered to all of these state parks and stuff, which was fine. It was an experience, but we weren't able to go boondocking the way we wanted to. We weren't able to use the quads the way we wanted to. And then we spent more time dealing with the manufacturer and their reps than we did actually camping. And so everything in life is a trade-off. And I'm kind of the opinion, if you have to trade off a little bit of comfort, for just the peace of mind of knowing that, everything's in your control, like that's a big deal for me. I'm a control freak. I want to know what's going on. How does it work? I don't want to be at the mercy of somebody else. So I told my wife, let's go back to something small. Let's give up on this idea of full-time living. We have a really nice house in a really nice neighborhood, one street off the lake. The weather in Texas is great the majority of the year. Let's just do some traveling in the summer, in the spring, in the fall, or whatever, whatever. We're still not having to work at this point. So let's just try to bite off a smaller piece, Let's start a little bit smaller. We got, again, I can't even say what the deal was, but financially we're doing really good. So, we have money to spend and really do whatever we want to do, which is why I really wanted to kind of just go buy a Class A and be done with it. But the more I read and the more I talked to people, the more I was confident that I could go spend $200,000, $300,000 on some giant thing, and it was going to be no more reliable than the $70,000 trailer we had. So really, I've just kind of quit the RV industry altogether. It's really been one of the most disappointing experiences I've had in life. I really got excited. I think we all really got excited about this idea of being able to just tow your home down the road behind you and, wake up in a different place every day. It was a lot of fun when we were able to do it well. Waking up on a lake and going and fishing, or waking up on the side of a mountain, or whatever, It made for a lot of fun with the family. But at the end of the day, just not worth the stress. And so I think that we're going to go somewhere in that direction where we give up some of the creature comforts for the added, security that everything is not going to be falling apart at every turn. And when it does fall apart, all of the components are easily accessible, or they're things that you bought, that you installed, that you maintain the warranties on, that you can control. instead of all the little dumb shit that we had to put up with. It's just like, I don't know what these people are thinking. I don't know if like they failed at everything else in life and the RV industry is just where they landed because they sucked at other things. And so then they build these products that it's like, I don't even know what the fuck they were thinking with so many of the things in our RV. It was just mind blowing, like how stupid you could possibly be to have done it that way. But, you know, what can you do? It's part of life. So, there you have that. In case anybody was wondering, we really intended to be gone, you know, a month ago, but so many things occurred, and then I got the opportunity in the meantime to dust off the old boat, and I've been having a lot of fun fishing. God damn it, it's always something with noise out here. Wind or some fucking assholes blowing something. It's like, I don't understand why my neighbors don't understand that I make YouTube videos and just stay in their fucking houses, you know? Like, do me a favor, stop living your lives so that I can do what I want to do. That's what I'm asking for here. I'm joking, obviously. Some of you have no sense of humor. So yeah, we started fishing for a while, and I'm telling you, man, I was on the verge. I told my wife, I was like, you better stop fucking with me. I'm tired of doing all the work on this RV thing. I've been doing all the work since the beginning. And I said, this is your, you know, this was your dream. This is your baby now. And if you keep fucking around, I'm gonna go buy a $100,000 boat. That's what I'm gonna do. I got it picked out. It's a fucking Skeeter Bay boat. It's not really 100 grand, but it's close. After I get through doing everything to it, it'll probably be closer. And I told her, I was like, I'm traveling one way or the other. So we can do your, you know, we can do your quads up in the mountains and the Tetons, in Yosemite, see all these parks and do all this shit you want to do. But if that's what we're going to do, then you got to start helping out with this planning and making some of these decisions. Because if you leave it to me, I'm buying a 22-foot Skeeter Bay boat and I'm going to take my ass back to Tampa or the Keys or something and go chase some big fish. So I guess either way it pans out, I'm going to be winning here. I also thought about, you know, when we sold everything to buy the trailer, we sold everything, you know, like we have very little left in our home. We had 2 BMWs. I had an M340i, which was, man, I love that car more than any car I've ever owned. Shed a fucking tear when I sold it. My wife had a BMW X5. And so now we have one car, you know. It's a truck, it's a F-250, it's brand new, it's nice, but sucks to drive. Fucking miserable. Like, I miss my BMW so bad. I've been thinking about going and just buying an X3 M40i. Crazy fast, you know, it's something the family can still enjoy. It's not a car, which is what I really want. What I really want is that new M2 that came out. I've been looking at that too. So, I don't know, man. It's all over the place. I'm gonna let my wife run with this for a period of time unless she drags her feet. She was actually doing something about it today, looking at all the different options. It's just, everything's a trade-off, man. You find the right length and it doesn't have the right features. You find the right features, doesn't have the right length, which is why I think it's just gonna come down to me. I'm gonna let her pick the platform and then we'll just go in together and we'll deck it out the way we want. And that way we don't spend too much money. We own it for cash. It's something that will be easy to resell. And if we go do this for the next 6-8 months and, you know, realize we were idiots and it was all a pipe dream and RVs do suck. I can't say that enough, man. They suck. The people who make them, y'all really suck. Oh, they're gonna fucking love me. Well, that's what you get. And you know what I'm talking about. So there you have it. I'm gonna leave this video right here before I get myself in any more trouble, or at least before I cross the line into getting into trouble, because I feel quite certain that this one is towing the line somewhere. So there you have it. There's gonna be more bodybuilding content coming up today. I don't know if I'm gonna have any rants today. Maybe, you never know. That's the thing about rants. I don't plan them. You know, I'm gonna read something in the news or somebody's gonna say something smart ass to me and I'm gonna fucking pop and go off, and then there'll be 3 more videos. So for those of you who enjoy the rants, stay tuned for that. For those of you who don't enjoy the rants or don't enjoy me talking about other topics besides bodybuilding, I'll be honest with you right now. You're probably getting ready to be sadly fucking disappointed, sorely disappointed. Because the reality is like I keep saying, I can't talk about bodybuilding fucking pharmacology every day. There's just not that many topics to discuss. And so I'm gonna start converting this audience to a different kind of platform. That's not the word I want. A different kind of content, if that's what it takes to keep things growing. So we'll see. Hopefully everyone will just stay on board and watch the content you like and skip the content you don't. So there you have it. As always, we'll see you on the next one.